Hello, my friends. I have an amazing one for you today. In this episode, I'm going to teach you exactly what I did to earn 10K in one weekend. Ready? Let's go. Welcome to the Immigrant to Millionaire podcast. This is where we study what the wealthiest and most successful people do. Why? Well, because success leaves clues. Not only do we study these successful people, we implement what we learn so that we create the life we want and deserve. My name is Joy Roland, your host. I'm an immigrant that implemented the knowledge I learned from great men and women and became a millionaire in 3 years of arriving in Canada. It's now my mission to share my knowledge with as many people as possible. Pour yourself a cup of coffee or tea. This is going to be fun. Hello, my lovely friend. Welcome to episode 7 of the Immigrant to Millionaire podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about how I earned $10,000 in one weekend and how you can do the same. Now, before we dive in, I just want to let you know I have some spots open in my calendar. You can book 1 hour with me. And in that 1 hour, I will help you create a custom plan that takes into account your current financial situation and your goals for the future. At the end of this 1 hour, you would know exactly what you should be working on your road to building your own empire. Spots fill up fast, so go ahead and book now. The link will be in the show notes. Okay, let's dive into today's topic. Okay, so how did I make $10,000 in one weekend? Well, my question to you is what are you actually using your weekend for? So, most likely you have a 9 to 5 job, and or maybe you have a business that takes your time. Like from 9 to 5, maybe you go to your business and you work on your business. But did you know you could maximize your weekend to help you increase your cash flow so that you have enough money for a down payment, for example, for your rental property or for your first home? Now, how did I do it? This is what I want to offer you. Did you know you could sell your knowledge and your experience and get paid good money? Now, when I say knowledge and experience, what do I mean? So, for example, I worked in a number of high profile banks, some in the UK and some in Canada. I've worked in two of the top 5 banks here in Canada, and I worked as an IT consultant. Now, because of all the experience I gathered on my 9 to 5 job, I had something to sell to people, my knowledge and experience. And so this was what I did. And I didn't just come up with this idea. It came off the back of people asking me for help. So I had friends who were highly educated, but people in like working in retail, for example. And there was this particular person who worked in customer services, and this is someone with a master's degree, right? Working as a customer service personnel, working over the phone. So she came to me and she said, "How have you been able to get all of these high profile jobs?" And so I took her through a program teaching her everything I know about landing high profile jobs. That was how that business idea came about. And I started to take them through a 4 week program, Saturdays and Sundays. And I developed the program teaching them what I do or what I did in my IT consulting job. So, using real life examples, I will walk them through what an IT consultant would do on the job and also teach them all of the certification programs they had to go through to become certified. So, that's an example of how you can sell your knowledge and experience. Another one I did back when I newly came was teaching people how to apply and get Canadian PR. Now, Canadian PR, the process is kind of convoluted, and to the to a regular person is not something they want to do. So you have to create your express entry profile and do all of these things to get in the express entry pool. Now, what many people did and still do to this day is to just hire a lawyer. And we all know immigration lawyers can be so expensive. The minimum you could spend on an immigration lawyer would be around $5,000. So I identified a gap in the market and I said, well, I've gone through this process. I know how it works. I can teach people how to do this for themselves. And I just went, created a website, created an avenue to be able to collect money. And people paid me for my knowledge, and I would walk them through the entire process from Express Entry profile creation all through to the end. So these are ways I was able to make $10,000 in one weekend. Now, I know you might be thinking, well, Joy, I don't have any experience I think people will pay me for. But you might be wrong. Like in my experience, it will surprise you what people pay for online. Now, now thinking about it, this is what I want to offer you. Just have a think. What have you done in the past? Number two, what have you experienced? Have you gone through a challenge or something you've experienced that will be useful to some other person? Number three is what challenges have you overcome? Now, have a think back in your life and think what challenges did you face that you overcame that you think other people will be going through as well. And number four is what skill do you have that you can passionately teach people? Now, like I said, I have some friends that I've actually met online that I was so surprised what they do to make money on the side. So there's this person that has a membership. She also has a podcast, and everything she teaches is around how to raise children on the autism spectrum. Now, because she has, at the time I last spoke to her, her son was 17 years old. So she's raised a child all through to teenage years, and she has experience on how to deal with the challenges of raising an autistic child. So now she's created a membership online to support other parents going through the same thing she's gone through. And she's actually still going through. Another one I know of is someone who teaches people how to potty train their children. So if you've potty trained your children or your child and you feel like you know a lot about the process, that's something you can teach people online. Another way, another income stream I have is, when I told you about teaching people about my IT consulting job. Now, when I created that program, I actually put all the knowledge in a book, right? Of like a physical book that's available to buy on Amazon. So Amazon does all the printing, all the sending to customers. I just get paid every month. So that's passive income right there. So maybe you have an idea for a book and you're wondering, oh, can I monetize my idea? I will tell you the answer is yes. And the good thing about Amazon is I self-published the book, so you don't have to pay any publishers. Now, if this is something you're interested in, just shoot me a DM and I'll be happy to walk you through. Another thing you could consider is having journals. So, journals, they're not full books, but they'll have some text inside of them. But people would then have to write in those journals. So, for example, weight loss journal. So, you could create a weight loss journal that guides people through logging their foods, logging their exercise, and then monitoring their weight, for example. Very easy to create. You can sell those on Amazon as well as on Etsy. So, my friend, I hope I have been able to open up your mind to possibilities. Do not discount anything you've been through in your life, anything you've done in the past, because you can actually monetize them and start creating wealth. Now, why is this very important? Because in my experience, cash flow is very important. So, for example, if you are planning to buy your first home or even your next rental property, in Canada right now, you need around 20% of the purchase price. So if you have a rental property going for, let's say, $1 million, you need to have 20%. Now, 20% will be around 250K. I'm just hoping my math is correct there. But That gives you a sense of how much you need to raise to create wealth, especially in rental properties. Now, I believe owning rental properties and actually having properties is one of the key ways to build wealth very fast. Because, in my experience, again, your return can happen very quickly. So, for example, when I bought my first home, I think we paid around $500,000. And within, I think, 18 months, that same property was going for over $800, $800,000, right? So tell me what investment you could do that would give you that kind of return in 18 months. So that's why I'm a huge advocate of rental properties. And we need to make sure that everything we do is geared towards having down payments for our next property. Okay? So that's it, my friend. So before I go, I want to remind you to grab a 1 hour in my calendar for a strategy call. I'll help you create your own unique roadmap to get you on your way to building wealth. Now, what's my own unique strategy? First of all, I'll help you calculate your net worth, and then I would help you create a debt repayment plan. So if you carry any debt which is over and above your mortgage, it's a very good idea to pay down that debt. Step number three is to help you get a high paying job. So when I say high paying job, from my purposes, I consider any job that pays you $150,000 and above as a high paying job. Why is that important? Again, when you go to buy rental properties, they look at your income. Right. So this is why I always suggest that you get a high paying job so that when you go to the banks or other lenders for mortgages, that will help you get more from the bank at a good rate. And step number four, like I've discussed, is to sell your knowledge. So this is something you can do over the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, and even in the evenings. So if you finish work at 5, you can come home, freshen up, and then from 7 to 9, you do your business to sell your knowledge. So usually you do this over Zoom, right? So you don't have to travel to anybody's house. You do it from the comfort of your own home. Step number 5 is to set up passive income. Now, passive income is very key. Like I told you, I get passive income from, I actually have 2 books on Amazon. And then on the side, I have a social selling business, which is like network marketing. And I started this because I read the book by Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. One of the income producing businesses he talks about is network marketing. And network marketing is very key because this is my own personal retirement plan. It's passive income. So you get paid over and over for the work you do just one time. Now, when I say network marketing, I don't mean any network marketing out there because there are different companies. Now, for example, if you were an affiliate of a company that sells, let's say, toothpaste, body wash, aloe vera, CBD oil, all of those things are things that customers can actually buy for themselves online. And almost always they can get them for cheaper prices. So, this is why the company I've partnered with um, has a life saving technology. It's a biotechnology. It's something everybody needs and everybody wants. So that makes it easier for me to sell. So if you're interested in finding out more about this biotechnology, send me a DM. I'll be happy to give you more information. And then the next step on my strategy is to buy your first home or to buy your next investment property. So, like I said, um, in my experience, real estate is the most sure way for you to build wealth fast. And the last one is dividend and index investing. Now, I know this might be boring to many of you, but I am very risk averse. So, what that means is I am not someone that likes to gamble my hard earned money in the markets, in financial markets, right? So, I don't do crypto, I don't do day trading, all of those things I think are just gambling, in my opinion. So what I do is what's called dividend investing. So I invest in mature companies that have paid dividend consistently over the years, right? So companies like RBC here in Canada, TD Bank here in Canada, Walmart in the US. Bottom line is companies that are grounded, right? So that's where I invest because those companies will pay me dividends and I can put that dividends back into buying more stocks in those companies. Now, the reason I like this as well is because there are no management fees and I get to decide what companies I buy based on my own research, right? The other one is index investing. So this is where you track indexes, right? And this is one of the safest way of investing in the stock market, in my opinion. Okay, so that wraps it up for today. Reminder again, grab a spot in my calendar if you haven't done so. I look forward to speaking with you on Zoom. So, my friend, if this podcast encouraged, inspired, or taught you something new, please do me a huge favor by leaving me a review. Just go to Apple Podcasts, find the show, go to the main page where you see a list of all of the episodes, scroll all the way down to the bottom of the list, and write me a review. This will let me know that all of the hard work I've poured into making this podcast is worth something. I'd also love for you to share this with your friend who could use all of the free value I provide on this podcast. I'll be forever grateful. I believe in good karma, and I know that when you do good things will come back to you 10 times. And lastly, come on over to my Facebook community to get support as you build your empire. This is an exclusive group of high-achieving and ambitious people actively working on getting wealthy. Find the link to the group in the show notes, my friend. I hope to see you back here soon. God bless you.